Well, 13 years ago, the idea of the Springboard Roadshow Foundation was birthed, a non-profit organization whose vision was to inspire the next generation of African leaders in the best way possible. Now, to this regard, they have come up with, so many initiatives like the Ghana Grows, we've got the Springboard Hangouts, we've got the Springboard Virtual University, amongst others, just to mention a few. Well, today, I sit with the Executive Director of the Springboard Roadshow Foundation and the host of the Springboard Hangout Show, whose seat I am seated in today to discuss the where, the why, the when, and the how. My name is Noella, and you are welcome to the Springboard Hangout. Usually, we would say with Madam Comfort Ocran, but today I'm just taking that job just a little bit, but that's okay. And this is an initiative of the Springboard Roadshow Foundation in partnership with the MasterCard Foundation. We're going for a quick break. When we come back, I get to introduce to you who my guest is today. I get to do that. I get all the honor of doing that, and we get to talk proper. So please stay with us. We'll be right back.
Ghana, are you ready for 2 days of the best in music, arts, food, and agriculture? AgroFusion 2.0 is back with the band and happening live at the Koforidua Jubilee Park on October 11 and 12, 2024. Come experience innovations in agriculture and ATVET, star music and dance performances, cultural displays, carnival games, local foods, open markets exhibitions, caviar clinics, and giveaways. There will also be the launch of the Ghana Grows Changing Narratives book and the Ghana Grows Young Innovators Award. This is an initiative by MasterCard Foundation in partnership with Springboard Roadshow Foundation and is free to attend. Join us in Covetown Jubilee Park for 2 days of unforgettable, empowering, and fun-filled experiences at AgroFusion 2.0. Call or WhatsApp 0308-255-775 for more information. Ghana Grows. Hope Day.
Springboard Hangout is an initiative of the Springboard Roadshow Foundation in partnership with the MasterCard Foundation.
You're welcome back. It's still the Springboard Hangout, and today I am hanging out with, the person that you usually see in this seat, but today she gets to be my guest, Executive Director of the Springboard Roadshow Foundation, Madam Comfort Ocran. You're looking all orangey, all beautiful.
I don't know. Actually, I'm feeling so uncomfortable here.
How does it feel?
I wish I could, switch over, and then I'll be the one asking all the questions and asking you the questions, and then you are giving me the advice.
It's quite unfortunate, but today you get to be there.
Okay.
But you can put it in a way. What's the experience like? What's the feeling like?
Surreal. Actually, it's like I'm on the Twilight Zone, and I'm like, okay, am I really doing this? Yeah. When you people hash this plot, okay.
You just keep it there.
Yeah, let's keep it there.
Wonderful as always.
Thank you.
I keep picking a few inspirations here and there. I did well today, right?
Well, you did. But you forgot the Funducative.
Oh, the Funducative program. Yes, that part was definitely important.
Yeah.
But for the longest time, people have seen the Springboard Hangouts, and they see the virtual university, and then they see Ghana Growth, and then I'm sure they're trying to put everything together. Let's talk about the birthing of the entire Springboard Roadshow Foundation. What was the genesis like?
Well, this was in 2007. Prior to that, we had been very instrumental in having the opportunity to engage different people at different times through different fora. And one day, one of our colleagues came and said, "But Comfort, do you know it would be really interesting if we, at the beginning of 2007, we have a program for young people, engaging them about how to start the year right." And we're like, "Really?" He said, yeah, okay. I said, okay, let's see what the program will be like. So in January 2007, we gathered at the Osu Presby Church Hall in Osu, about 600 plus people from all over the country, including Wa and Tamale and Koforidua, from all over the place, and we're all at this place. And we talk about starting the year right. And so at the end of the program, jam-packed room, we were excited. Then one of the participants came to me And he said, do you know something? I am from Tamale. We usually don't get such programs in the north.
Yeah.
So could you kindly think about having this program in Tamale for us?
That's the first episode.
That was
the
just
first one.
the first one.
Interesting.
And we're like, we don't know anyone in Tamale.
Yeah.
He said, okay, I will take you to Tamale.
Oh, okay.
Okay. But if you're going to Tamale, how do we go to Tamale? What do we need? Somebody from Koforidua had also asked to have Koforidua in the picture. So we said, okay, let's try Koforidua. If Koforidua works, then maybe it's possible to consider Tamale.
Okay.
So we did go to Koforidua, a few weeks afterwards, had a very successful program. We said, oh, well, okay, this is how it can go. So based on that, we followed up with my friend, or our friend, went to Tamale. He actually did take us there, gave us someone who was kind of our guide through, we identified what the venue would be and so on and so forth. Then we had a very successful one. So based on the fact that we were going to Tamale that next year, we did 6 other regions apart from, so in total we did 6 regions the very next year. Then afterwards we did 9, then we did 11.
It kept growing.
And it kept growing. And even we started getting requests from outside the country. We did, the roadshow did Gambia, we did Nigeria. And it was all, really going well. But we said, well, why don't we think about deepening our roots here in GH? And therefore we said, let's see how we can do that. Yeah. One of the things that we have done always over the years as Springboard is to say that what we did, was it good enough? We always reiterate. Yeah. So was it good enough? How can we improve it?
Make it better.
I remember one day we had the privilege of going with KSM to Tamale, and around 10:30 we were still standing outside Radak. PM. Talking to the participants in Tamale, then Radak is in Tamale. We're standing outside talking to the participants there. And then one of them said, whenever you leave us, then there's nothing until one whole year again. Yeah. Okay, how do we solve that one?
A lot of questions.
A lot of questions.
A lot of questions.
So then the virtual university came into the fray.
Oh, okay.
So then, as they don't only listen and hear from us
when you get there,
1 year afterwards, but then we do the virtual university. We also started packaging the roadshow program, whether we've gone the various places, and then put it on various radio stations. So yesterday I had the privilege of talking to some young ladies at a program, and one of them told me that he was in Takwa, and he was listening to the virtual university in Takwa, because we had pre-packaged the package, the programs, and we were playing it weekly in Takwa. And she said, based on what she heard in Takwa, it gave her the idea that she can achieve, she can accomplish. And so right now, when she's talking to you, I was looking at her yesterday as she was speaking to me, and I was like, wow.
How are you feeling?
I was feeling so special. I was feeling like, that's one beautiful young lady who has everything sorted out. And she knew exactly where she wanted to be, because she understood planning, she understood personal development, she understood networking, and so on and so forth. So, those are some of the things that the roadshow has had the privilege of doing over the years.
You just mentioned, the virtual university, but for very recently, somewhere in August 19th to 23rd, you had one of your teenpreneurship events that saw so many teens come out, we'll talk about that. We'll get into all of those details. But let's talk about what sparked your interest for teens, in going into entrepreneurship, because most of the time it's after school, after university or something, they can get into that. But why teens?
Well, I was privileged.
Okay.
When I was growing up, my father had a printing press in the house. And like any curious young person, I would go and play with the typesetting equipment, you know. So, and I even learned how to run the printing machine. Now, this was around 12 years. And I could, my mother could actually give me a client's work, and I would do it.
You do it.
And I mean, I would do that. I'll set it. And in those days, please, there was no computer. So these were the days I used to take a type at a time, and you read it backwards. So
some of us cannot relate, but okay.
I know, right? You can relate it, yes. So based on that, and I could run the printing press, quote unquote, run it in my way. But whether it did well or not, that's a different issue.
Nobody's asking.
Nobody's asking. Nobody's telling.
No.
You know, yeah. But so based on that, I know that young people, you challenge them, they can't just do anything.
Yes.
And in those times, my teenagers were home. They were just watching TV. They were being of no productive use. I said, well, why don't we create a program for young people, for teenagers, to teach them principles of entrepreneurship, principles of financial literacy, those things. Yeah. So we set up the teenpreneurship to support young teenagers who were home during the vacation and they didn't have anything to do.
And this was in which year?
This was in, if I'm right, it was in 2012 or so.
Okay.
And we decided that if you bring young people around and there's no fun, you got it wrong. You must have games for them to play.
You need to have
without which they'll be very, very bored.
Yeah.
They must have something that is hands-on. Yeah. So there must be breakout sessions. Yeah. Now, the talk shouldn't be a lot. And most importantly, they must run their show.
Very important.
And they run the show so well that we started the program as kiddiepreneurship.
Oh.
After the third day or so, they came to us and called us into a conference and said, well, you know something? We really are enjoying ourselves, don't get us wrong. But we are not kids. We are teens.
Apologies.
We said we beg.
Apologies.
So what should we call it? So let's call it teenpreneurship. So they gave their program their name because we, the adults, we got it all wrong.
I guess they're not kids anymore like this.
No, they are not. They are not. They are not.
We are not kids. We are teens.
We are teens. So kindly name the program Teenpreneurship. So yes, please. And we did exactly that.
I see. And what has the success journey of, teenpreneurship from the very first one till, the very last one that you had, some weeks ago? How's it been like?
It's been amazing.
More people coming?
Amazing. I mean, I remember during that time, a friend of mine had, I think, about a 7 or 8 year old guy, boy, and his brother was there, and he was like, I'm not staying at home either. I'm also coming to play. Of course, when you see football, you see, you're not sitting at home. No. So he came. I remember we used to, he was very vocal, like any 7-year-old who is now developing, those kind of cognitive skills. They're still at that stage where they don't care about.
They have 1,001 questions.
No. They have 1,001 questions and they want to be in the center of the action. So when he wants to do his presentation, we'll bring a stool for him to stand on the stool.
Come on.
Come on.
To
make his presentation.
Okay, he needs to be seen.
He needs to be seen because our podium was too, our lectern was too big for him. So he had to stand on something. Now, he's now finished his uni. He's now in working as supporting another group of young people.
Look at that.
As they go to school. So he does something in neuroscience.
Okay.
And I'm like, yeah, that's my baby. Oh. But he's not my baby now. He's all grown.
Even back then they said we weren't kids.
Exactly.
Now he's
exactly. I don't know if you know H.O.W.C.O Ampofo. Yes. He's a sports journalist. Yes. And he was one of the first, they were in the first class of teenpreneurs. He's my son. H.O.W.C.O, you couldn't get a word out of H.O.W.C.O before the first teenpreneurship. Yeah. So when you ask H.O.W.C.O something, you'll be like, okay. And then we finished teampreneurship, and that particular one we talked about communication skills, we talked about presentation, and so on and so forth. So next year, Rico says that he would be the one who would go and talk about teampreneurship on radio.
Wait, were you giving them something in the
I should
that was
think
being
so.
said? Because one point you come quiet, the next point you want to present, the next point you want to be the one to talk about it. Please give us
at the end of it, so after that particular radio interview, I said, Rico, what happened? He said, after teampreneurship, when he went back to school, he was doing all the presentations, doing their class presentations, and so on and so forth. So he realized that speaking in public is not really that big deal. And today, yes, he's all over the place, playing his craft. So that's one of the things I love about teampreneurship, seeing the products when they come in. And now 5 years, 10 years down the line, they are in various places, taking up big conversations, and so on and so forth. So yeah, teampreneurship is one of my pet products that I'm so in love with. I can't wait for any teampreneurship.
It must be fulfilling. I was actually going to ask if there are any success stories from it, but you've laid that down already. So most definitely, I'm sure they're going to look out for the next teampreneurship.
They should, because what in those days we didn't have even enough sponsorship. But right now, courtesy of MasterCard Foundation, every teenager who attends comes for free. So you don't have to pay a cent, and they get so much information. You talk about agripreneurship, and they are there. You talk about coding. This year we did coding. We looked at AI. We looked at agribusinesses. We looked at how they can grow their own business. We had a fashion fair. We looked at arts, both visual, both dramatic, and so on and so forth. So it's a whole plethora of experiences that we expose the young people to. So then based on the person's leanings, whether the person likes STEM, whether the person likes arts, whatever the person likes, the person has a space in teampreneurship to express himself or herself. But most importantly, that they learn valuable skills to help them along their journey in this world.
Yeah, when you were speaking, I picked one thing, that was the agribusiness.
Yeah.
And I love the fact that you are sort of introducing the very, very young people. I was going to ask, what is one of the ways, or what are some of the ways that you try to make agriculture appealing to the younger generation? Because it's one of the things that they sort of put on the side. Agric is not for me. But once you are introducing it in teampreneurship, there must be a way that you are making it look appealing to the younger people. What are some of the ways?
So if you can, there's nothing more beautiful than seeing something grow.
Yeah.
So if you can see the process whereby something is put in the soil and then it grows, and then it matures, and then you have the opportunity of plucking it. And there are ways in which you can take that thing that you have plucked to either add value to it or to sell it and make money. Our teenagers like to have cash. And this gives you funds that mommy and daddy, you tell them that this is mine.
That's mine. I did that.
I did it. That sense of ownership. There's nothing more fulfilling. There's nothing more powerful. So, if we introduce them to snail farming, snail farming is not very labor intensive, but you still get the output. This year we did mushroom farming, and the part of the mushroom farming, we took them to the farm. They saw how, after they've done the practical work at the place, they went there and saw how they can add value, and they did mushroom kebab.
Mushroom what?
Kebab. Okay. And then there's someone else, that was last year, they made cookies out of mushroom. When we started, the mushroom class was very small. By the time we ended, now everybody wanted to go into mushrooms, and we're like, please, let's respect ourselves. It's okay. We can only take so many people here. But at the end of the thing, once there's that practical space, the person sees the outcome based on my work, the pride they get.
Sometimes you don't even want to touch it.
No. The pride they get from having done that, it makes such a difference in that person's life.
Yeah.
So yes, we are able to introduce, young people to the idea of agribusiness, of not just farming, but agribusiness, of the extended value chain. They realize that if even I want to be a research scientist, I can be a research scientist in the extended value chain for
Listen, guys, I am learning so much, and I am sure that you are, but we are not going anywhere. I just want to give you some time to stock up on your snacks, okay? Because there's more apple that we are going to be giving you as the show progresses. So we'll be right back after this break.
Springboard Hangout is an initiative of the Springboard Roadshow Foundation in partnership with the MasterCard Foundation. Springboard Hangout is an initiative of the Springboard Roadshow Foundation in partnership with the MasterCard Foundation.
And you're welcome back. And this is the Springboard Hangouts, an initiative of the Springboard Roadshow Foundation in partnership with the MasterCard Foundation. And we have an insightful conversation. We've been having an insightful conversation with Madam Comfort Ocran, and she is in my guest seat today. She's giving us so much insight. Listen, if you're not inspired, I don't know what else you want us to do for you, but that's okay. You can. That's your business. But now we've spoken about teampreneurship. We've spoken about agribusiness. Now I want us to talk about hangouts. Hangouts. One of your special babies as
I
well.
know, right?
What inspired you to create a hangout?
Well, I've always felt that we should have spaces for young people to just chill.
Okay, I like the chilling.
To just have a conversation whereby they just have their questions answered. And I think we had an opportunity. One day we brought our friends who were in the architectural business space. And we brought our children and their friends.
Okay.
And they asked them all sorts of questions. And because these were young people sitting around and they were asking people in the field, so why should I even build a house? How do I work? Don't they have cheaper? Wow, so
use paper to build a house.
So they asked all sorts of questions.
Yeah.
Both the nice ones and the other ones.
Yeah.
And when they finished, the young people were like, oh, okay. All right. And they had their questions answered. So I said, why can't we have something like this in the media, whereby questions that young people have are sorted out in a fun way, and they understand issues, so then they take informed decisions. Because sometimes they may do something not because they know why. But they didn't know. They were doing something out of ignorance. But once they know why, they are in a better position to make informed decisions.
That's true.
So that's why the Hangouts was born. Then come 2020, when we have our COVID, then there's no place for young people. There's no place for anybody to go anywhere. So we move online. And then we start having hangouts just to keep people safe.
Yeah. No, that actually is the right word, because a lot of people.
It was. So hangouts thrived during COVID because then we were having different conversations, bringing people into the studio, getting their feedback, and so on and so forth. So afterwards, we said, okay. Then you are here to stay. Here's a new program for young people. And that's how Hangouts has been. And we've done different episodes, looked at entrepreneurship, we looked at financial planning, we've looked at how even love, and that was one of the episodes that was the most watched episode. Why do people like love
young
like that?
Love. Question mark.
Question mark. So so those are the things that hangouts we seek to do, have fun, and yet those things that bother you. I mean, and down to earth. There's no high flying conversations where we talk about the epigenetics of the. No, we don't.
Let's
we
calm down. Let's calm down, please.
Yeah.
I love that, every single idea that is birthed under the springboard is from an experience, it's from a point. And so somebody says something, you tried it and it worked, and then it stayed. Somebody says something, it really has, some connection, which is very important. But I also want to find out what are some of the things that go into you selecting your guests, because like you said, we're not having high-rise conversations, very easy going conversations where everybody's question is answered, but they're having fun as well. So how do you select the guests for Hangout?
So what goes into our selection of guests? And because our guests are those that make the conversations rich.
Yes.
So we look at people who have the opportunity to engage. And then we also look at how we can make the conversation exciting.
Yeah, relatable as well.
Relatable. I like what you use, relatable. And so that's what we focus on. And then if you're doing an institution, we look for what kind of institution does the public, in this case the main audience for the Hangouts, are interested in, and therefore when you talk to them, they are able to understand what they want to get from the institution and vice versa. So those are the kind of considerations that are on the table when we decide to interview someone.
But are there any, I'm sure you're going to say all the episodes have been your favorite, but I'm sure there's like some 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
6, 7, 8, 9, 10
of them, that were, I mean, definitely all of them are impactful, but you can just remember on the top of your head, let's say 5 or 3.
Oh, come on.
I'm trying to give you grace. I didn't want to say 1.
That's not going to happen.
1.
It's not
10.
It's not happening.
Even 10.
It's not happening.
But I'm sure like now people are having a hang of the entire Hangout program and experience. But are there different topics that you said? Because mind you mentioned that there has to be the question that you're answering for the day. So are there different categories in the Hangout program? Because I'm sure people one time they see you talking about this, so you're talking about that. But just to lay it down a bit, are there different categories that you seek to, tackle in the Hangout program?
Well, let's say because we have different programs that we run, we can have those that are human interest focused, right? Another type would have, an industry or a sector. So let's say the agric focus, where we look at what is happening in the field, either innovations or how people are making it big there, and therefore there's opportunity there, or how it's possible that if you look at this way of growing your stuff, you can become better, or so on and so forth. What kind of opportunity is this? And then we also have episodes that are focused on just pure innovations, what's going on in the world, and how can I be part of it? And finally, we have the final bucket, or the final strand that looks at how can we as individuals grow? Who has made it? And what can I learn from him or her? So those are the kind of main themes that we work with on the Hangout.
Okay, great. So if you were unsure about what exactly the Hangout was about, seeing the impacts that they talk about, seeing the various different initiatives under the Hangout program, well, there you have clarity from Madam Comfort Ocran. So right now we're going for another break, okay? So if you still haven't stocked up on your snacks, I don't know what you're waiting for, just go. We'll be right back after this.
Springboard Hangout is an initiative of the Springboard Roadshow Foundation in partnership with the MasterCard Foundation.
Ghana, are you ready for 2 days of the best in music, arts, food and agriculture, Agrofusion 2.0 is back with the bang and happening live at the Koforidua Jubilee Park on October 11 and 12, 2024. Come experience innovations in agriculture and ATVET, star music and dance performances, cultural displays, carnival games, local foods, open markets exhibitions, caviar clinics, and giveaways. There will also be the launch of the Ghana Grows Changing Narratives book and the Ghana Grows Young Innovators Award. This is an initiative by MasterCard Foundation in partnership with Springboard Roadshow Foundation and is free to attend. Join us in Copetown Jubilee Park for 2 days of unforgettable, empowering, and fun-filled experiences at Agrofusion 2.0. Call or WhatsApp 0308 255 775 for more information. Ghana Grows. Hope Day.
You're welcome back, and we're still hanging out with Madam Comfort Ocran right here on the Springboard Hangout, which is an initiative by the Springboard Roadshow Foundation in partnership with the MasterCard Foundation. Now, we've spoken extensively, you know, about entrepreneurship, about hangout, about every single thing, so many things, and I'm sure that there's a lot more to talk about. Unfortunately, we have to box it up and wrap up. You don't want to go. I don't want to go too. Oh my God, I know you're enjoying
You
it.
and I, we want to be social. We want to remain social. So it's in your interest that you would find a way of ensuring that our time
is extended, right?
Yeah.
I would write. My bosses are watching, so
yeah, please.
I would send in.
Both of us will send.
I'm sure they're going to be watching. But so far, I mean, I have learned a lot. You know, I have learned a lot about every single thing that you're doing, and I must say, it is inspiring. Please keep inspiring us. But before you go, I'm sure there are a lot of things that you've planned for the future. Talk about, you know, you even have events for women where you do leadership programs and all of those. Are there ones that we should be looking forward to? What's in the pipeline? I know you have a lot under the sea. Please tell us a little bit. Let's expect more suspense.
I like that. You know, whenever we as ladies meet together, we create a vibe which kind of positions each other at a better place. Yes. Therefore, I mean, in the past, I used to have programs for women or young ladies, and in the future, very soon, the Hangouts especially will be focused on supporting, coming up with programs designed for up-and-coming corporate women to help them, you know, travel that lovely path that we call the corporate ladder. We expect that the conversations will be rich. We expect that based on those episodes, our women or our ladies would realize how much they have in them to accomplish their dreams. And based on that, we would have ladies, you know, not just occupying the C-suite, but also making impact in every facet of life.
But you know, in recent times, there's been a talk of women empowerment. I think some people are even getting tired of it. Women empowerment, women in this, women in that. Do you think there will ever be a point where it will be enough, you know?
You know, when we started the roadshow, I always said I was gender agnostic. It was for every single person. Then one day we did a program, and when we do programs, we do feedback, you know, when we finish, we analyze the composition of people who participated in the program. We realized that we had less than 20% participation from women. Meanwhile, both women and men had had the program coming up. So we said, why was it so skewed? So we did a little bit of digging, and we realized that if we wanted to see that true gender parity, or I mean, when I say gender, I mean that's in everybody who hears would take action, then we must be very deliberate in bringing people on. So it affected, or it's influenced what kind of speakers we brought onto we make sure that we don't bring just men, but we have both women and men. We ensure that if we have to look at the timing, we'll do that. If we have to put things that would support the young people taking part in it.
Yeah.
It helps bring up more ladies into the space.
Yeah.
Guess what? The next year when we carried out that same thing, we saw a 20% increase in the participation of women. So interestingly, I mean, you would have presumed that having given them so much, shown them the road, they would be willing to take up such opportunities.
Yeah.
Last year, we conducted another survey, and in that survey, we found out, this is part of the Ghana Growth Program, when we did the CAP survey, the Knowledge, Attitude and Perception survey to to act as a baseline for the program.
Yeah.
We found out that even though women may know that there's opportunity in the extended value chain for agric and native, they are unwilling to take the step to, you know, pursue that space. They will not ask questions. I see that the query.
Yeah, that's very interesting. But were
why?
there any reasons that, you know, were attached to the survey?
So let me bring home a young lady that happens to be part of the Ghana Growth Program in the Girls Club, Mentoring Club.
Okay.
And we've developed curriculum that's covered different aspects of life, including your finances, how to grow as a person, personal development, time management, and so on and so forth. And when we were doing the model on leadership, she said, I'm not a leader. I just want to be a follower. But after going through that leadership model, she now decides to take up a leadership position on UCC campus.
Oh, okay.
Why? Because now she has understood that leadership is not something that is not possible for you.
Yeah.
So the more opportunity, exposure young ladies are given, the more willing they would try to dare. However, if that opportunity or the space is not created for them, they believe that I think I would be at the back so that someone else would take the lead.
Well, this is sad. You know, I love the fact that the Springboard, you know, Foundation has taken that initiative to, you know, make sure that it curbs such things. But is it more societal? Just a final. Is it more societal?
It is.
Yeah.
It is. I mean, there are times that when doing this Ghana Growth Program, we've gone to a community and we've asked to see everyone, and then you find places where the gentlemen come and sit in the middle, and then the ladies are sitting on the fringes. And because the Ghana Growth Program is focused mainly on women, I mean, we are deliberate on attracting women. We ask that, can the ladies be given a seat at the table, and the gentlemen are not willing to take. So if it's a cultural inclination, there's a likelihood that even when you are not giving the open space, you may say, okay, let the people who normally do it, let them do it. So we have to break the barriers and we have to open the spaces. So that is what we hope to do with the corporate leadership series coming up.
Well, you've just unleashed another one, you know, talking about the corporate leadership series that is coming up. But so many, you know, initiatives, and I'm sure you can't do this alone. There's been some support somewhere, because you definitely need more hands. You definitely need more support. So maybe we can just use this little time to do a few shout-outs.
I mean,
you know,
it's so important
for the work.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you know, Springboard couldn't have reached this far without the support, the cooperation, the funding from different angles. And I would like to mention MTN. They have been with us for the past, I believe, 15 to 16 years. And so shout out to MTN. Thank you so much. Different leaders have been in place, but they have been with us in the past years. And we are really, truly, truly grateful. for the past 5 years, MasterCard Foundation, they have really opened a whole, I don't know, behemoth of opportunity for the roadshow, and we have done so much with them. I mean, based on them, I mean, we were able during the core program to reach about 23 million people cumulative, not but cumulative, and that's
a good number.
That's phenomenal.
It is.
That is phenomenal.
Really
I mean,
is.
for this particular program, we're looking at reaching. Working with about 43 radio stations across the nation with community information centers, and that's also another level, you know, with people understanding, hearing about the Ghana Growth Program, the fact that there's so much opportunity in the extended value chain for agric and ATVET, enterprise group. So then we work with the insurance, with the trustees, all of them, and they have made it possible. Zenith Bank, at some time, they were also there, and we are very grateful to them. EcoBank also supported us. We've had a partnership with Star Life, you know. So we have been blessed as a foundation to have a lot of support. And I would like to encourage corporate organizations that when you have the opportunity to sow, and this one I'm using biblical language, sow into the lives of the people that you attract for your businesses, I believe that don't throw it away, because you touch so many lives and so many angles, and most of them do come back to you either as clients, either as workers, or people who have actually been able to, you know, make a difference in their lives because you decided to support them. So thank you for all our corporate leaders, and thank you for all those who have played a role in some points or the other for the foundation.
These shout outs here is mixed with blessings.
It's
You know, we're trying to hold this, but it just had to come out. You
I know,
know,
right?
But I mean, talking about the people that have been very helpful, you know.
I almost talked about the volunteers, but can I go with them?
Yeah, I mean, why not?
We've worked with people from different walks of lives across the value chain, from north to south, east to west.
Everywhere.
And there's a core team at Springboard here at H.O.W., and they keep tweaking things and making things happen, like Matthew and Prince and Salom and Genevieve. Oh, there are so many, Francisca, and the passion, the focus on how do we make this work is incredible. And if we have to go without sleep, they'll do it. If we have to travel across the rivers to take the program to someone because we have identified that there's a gap there and we need to support them, they will do it. And that, I want to say thank you so much to the incredible team at the Springboard Roadshow Foundation who make this happen every single day. We have there, but there's a whole army of volunteers across the nation who, when we call them and say, we need this, can you support? They are there. We have mentors who are across different, sectors, who work with the mentees at different times, and they go beyond what we call the call of duty. Because if someone says that my rice farm is almost ready, and I don't have a combined harvester, and I can call someone. This happened in Wale Wale, and I can call someone and say, Charlie, do you know anybody in Wale Wale who may have a combined harvester? And the person calls that person in Wale Wale. And the person gets a combined harvester to harvest the rice, because there's a young farmer whose produce should not go waste. That is an army at work, and there's no way it can be done by one person. It is done by an army. And I'm very grateful to the Springboard Army, which is led by General Albert Ocran, who makes magic happen. Thank you so much for all the magic you've made happen in our country. And we owe you that debt of gratitude. Thank you.
Well, I've seen a lot of creatives on social media, and you are definitely the best person to, throw some light on it. Last year's Agrofusion was massive. Like, it was an explosion at Legon. But this year, you decided not to just do it in Accra, but you're taking it all the way.
Yeah.
To Koforidua.
To Koforidua.
Please tell us about it. What are we looking forward to?
Agrofusion 2.0.
2.0.
Yeah, that's it. Please say it properly.
Agrofusion 2.0.
Yeah. Agrofusion, it promises to be a jam. We're going to have the festival, which has all these really lovely, or should I say lovely or jamming people who are going to make the place jam. So that's the festival, and we'll have the fun. We'll have a lot of things to eat. We'll have exhibitions. We'll have people who are in the agribusiness space. So therefore, if you are there and you're in the agribusiness space and you want to come and exhibit at Agrofusion in Koforidua on the 11th and 12th of October, this is a shout out to you. Just reach our hotline on 0308 255 775. And then we'll reach out to you and we'll give you the criteria. But the thing is, unlike other exhibitions where you pay, you don't pay.
Ma, please,
so I beg you.
Please, repeat encore.
Thank you very much.
Understand.
I say, unlike other places where you have to pay something, here at Agrofusion in Koforidua on the 11th and 12th of October, it is free.
Yeah.
We'll bring you the booths, we'll bring you the people, we'll do all the advertisement for you, and you don't pay a cent. All you do is show up with your exhibitions, with your creative things, innovative things that you're doing in agribusiness and the extended value chain in ATVET, and let's have fun. But that's part one.
Part one, okay.
Part two, we're having a summit on the same 2 days. And this summit will focus on the extended value chain. So we bring together policy holders, young people, people who teach them about how to advocate. So then we would have a training session about how youth advocacy. If you say that we can't talk, fine, we are going to teach you how to engage, in a productive way. So then your things are ahead because you are showing people what the advantages of having young people in the space does. And that I'm really looking forward to. And we are working with the Ghana Federation for the Disabled. And we'll be bringing students from the Ocran School for the Blind, people from the School for the Deaf, and so on and so forth, and different secondary schools around that area. And that is for both the summit. Then Agrofusion 2.0 would also use as a launch pad for our Changing Narratives book that we just compiled.
Oh, that must be. Oh, yes, this one. I was actually going to ask about it because I've been seeing it here, and I'm asking if it's, I can take one home or something.
Okay, you would have to pray.
I have to pray.
Yeah, you would have to pray.
You have to fast too.
You don't know fasting, just prayer.
I've started, so maybe by the time you're done, tell us about it.
I love this book because this was a compilation of our 800 stories across the nation. Yeah, of people's journeys in the agribusiness space since we started the Ghana Grows program. So then if you have someone, we did across the nation, we did that according to the regions. So every region is, represented here. And we would launch it during agribusiness, the Agrofusion 2.0. And farming becoming the source of my revenue and CEO of your E-Fresh.
And I love that every single one has their picture attached.
I know, right?
So you can
I know.
see them.
Yeah.
While they're telling their stories, the pictures are attached.
Exactly.
As well.
Exactly.
I
love them. I know. And guess what? This was done by one of the ways that we work here is to say that this organization is a youth-led organization. So it was compiled by the young people here, and these are all below 35. And they compiled it, they edited it, and they did everything. And so I'm very, very, very proud about this book. If you actually turn to the first page, you would have our youth-led editorial team, right here. Because I know, right? They did a fantastic job, and it was led by Deborah. Deborah, interestingly, is not in communications. Deborah is into accounting.
Wow.
So here, I mean, she's amazing. Yeah. So anyway, so we are launching this, but when you have cake and you have icing on it, it makes the cake really, really delicious.
I can taste it already. Is it chocolate or vanilla?
It must be chocolate with some nuts in there.
Yeah, it works. It works.
So the Agro-Fusion cake has as the icing the awards night, which is open to only people between the ages of 15 to 35. Even that I'm saying this year, people here who are above the age are saying that they are no longer their age, they are attained their age. So that's, please, snakes will come after you. I'm telling you, if you know, you know. We are going to have awards, two persons, one in the agribusiness field and the other in the TV space. They will win, two persons who bring in their stories, would win an award. And this award, amongst other things, entitles you to a trip out of Ghana. Because our Agro-Fusion Awards, our Ghana Grows Awards, is our National Farmers Awards for young people. So, hey, if you're a young person out there and you are making waves, you're doing some innovative things in the field of agric and ATVET, this is an opportunity. Send your story, send your, and please, send a video. We send it to Gigi at springboard.com.gh. Gigi at springboard.com.gh. And anyone, the best will be selected, and you'd go through various processes. But the best two who are selected are definitely going on a trip outside Ghana.
And that is how I'm advocating for maize seeds. I'm going to start my farm tonight. So please, if you have maize seeds,
it's too late.
No. With prayer and supplication. Please, if you have seeds, let's combine the trip. We'll go together. So I'm advocating, please identify as a maize farmer. But anyways, guys, you've heard it. That is Agro-Fusion 2.0. So please make sure that if you're in that space, you come out on the 11th and the 12th of October. Let's have a good time and let's learn a lot from the Agro-Fusion 2.0. What a way to end the show. Oh my God, I'm having so much fun. I don't want to go. We definitely have to continue this conversation. Just you and I.
Just you and I.
Just you and I.
Agree.
Special episode for me. But anyways, guys, this has been the Springboard Hangouts. Today, I took the place of the host, Madam Comfort Ocran. She was in the guest seat, and I'm sure that she has enjoyed me. Wait, before we go, rate me out of 10.
Oh, I definitely, it's going to happen again, because would go and
when there's a callback, we definitely did something right. But anyway, thank you so much, like I said, for tuning in and watching. I'm sure that you have picked a few things, you've learned a lot, and most definitely you're definitely going to tune in to the next episode of the Springboard Hangouts, which is an initiative of the Springboard Roadshow Foundation in partnership with the MasterCard Foundation. Thank you all so much for enjoying the show. See you on the next one.
Springboard Hangout is an initiative of the Springboard Roadshow Foundation in partnership with the MasterCard Foundation.
Ghana, are you ready for 2 days of the best in music, arts, food, and agriculture? Agro-Fusion 2.0 is back with the band and happening live at the Koforidua Jubilee Park on October 11th and 12th, 2024. Come experience innovations in agriculture and ATVET, star music and dance performances, cultural displays, carnival games, local foods, open markets exhibitions, career clinics, and giveaways. There will also be the launch of the Ghana Grows Changing Narratives book and the Ghana Grows Young Innovators Award. This This is an initiative by MasterCard Foundation in partnership with Springboard Roadshow Foundation and is free to attend. Join us in Covetown Jubilee Park for 2 days of unforgettable, empowering and fun-filled experiences at AgroFusion 2.0. Call or WhatsApp 0308 255 775 for more information. Ghana grows. Hope Day.